Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're on to lesson 3.2, multiplication with non-unit fractions. So yesterday, or most recently, you did unit fractions. Now we're going to look at non-unit fractions. So be sure to copy the lesson number and the I can statement. I can multiply a whole number by a non-unit fraction. Here we go. So first of all, multiplication by a non-unit fraction. We're going to start with a word problem. So Prairie Town is 15 miles away. If you have driven 1/3 of this distance, how many miles have you gone? Well, you might be thinking, hello, Mrs. Kuiper, that is still a unit fraction. Yep, I know. This is a step along the way. So if we take our 15 miles and we consider, well, what is 1/3 of that? We're going to take 15 divided into thirds, 3 equal parts. So each of those parts would be 5 miles. So what if you have driven 2/3 of the way to Prairie Town? How many miles have you gone? Well, if 1/3 is 5 miles, 2/3, okay, we're going to use that to help us. So we know that 1/3 and 1/3 is 2/3. So we're going to take 5 miles plus 5 miles. So 2/3 would be 10 miles. So we could think of, okay, if we know what 1/3 is and we multiply it by 2, we know that that's going to give us our 2/3. So the 5 miles times 2, because we need 2/3, is 10 miles. Same thing. So for any multiplication of a non-unit fraction, you can first figure out, well, what is the value of the unit fraction? Like we just did. We took 1/5, and then we knew that we needed actually 2 of those, so we can multiply that by 2. Hopefully you're not feeling like that right now, but if you are, let's see if we can clarify. All right, so if we have 3/8 of 32, well, let's figure out, well, what is 1/8? 32 divided into eighths. 32 divided by 8. Each eighth is going to equal 4. So now, if I need 3/8, so if 1/8 is 4, 3 of those, 3 times 4 would give us 12. Look at 4/5 of 45. Well, let's ask ourselves, what is 1/5? A fifth of 45. 45 divided into 5 equal parts. There would be 9 items in each equal part. So if 1/5 is 9, 4/5 would be 4 times 9, or 36. Okay, like I said before, if taking some items helps you, get 45 pennies, divide them into fifths, 5 equal groups. You'll notice there's 9 in each groups. 4 of those groups would give you 36 pennies. All right, let's look at another one. Silver City is 24 miles away. Mrs. Kuiper has driven 1/4 of the distance. Mrs. Sabin has driven 1, 2, 3/4 of the distance. So 24 miles total. If we divide those into 4 equal parts, 24 divided by 4, each of these parts is going to be worth 6 miles. So 1/4 is 6, 2/4 is 12, 3/4 is 18, 4/4 is 24. So here's the question. How far has Mrs. Kuiper driven? How far has Mrs. Sabin driven? Well, look at those cars. Mine's a little not looking too great, and look at how snazzy hers is. By the way, Mrs. Sabin does have a really cool, snazzy car. You'll have to ask her about it sometime. So,
Gentlemen, start your engine.
All right, now we're not gentlemen, but anyway, so let's see. Unfortunately, that was my car. And that was Mrs. Sabin. So now you can see why she's a little farther along than I am. So let's look at the math problem though. 1/4 of 24 miles is 6 miles. Okay, so that's how far I've driven. So if we take 3 6s, Mrs. Sabin then has driven 18 miles. 1/4 is 6, so 3 of those would be 18. All right, so here are your practice problems. Remember to use the heading practice problems. You're going to copy these 2 down with the answer. You do not have to copy number 3 down, just give me the answer. So remember, 5/8 of 32 means the same as multiply. So 32, to figure out what is 1/8 of 32, 32 divided by 8, and then multiply that answer by 5. 25, what's 1/5? Multiply that by 4. Okay, so write the multiplication equation for this one with your answer. Remember, you can always rewind the video if you need help, and I will be working with you in group as well.